Hey, I'm Jan from New York City. Are you ready to make your life a little more simple? Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm always ready to do that. Back in a minute. Good Sunday morning to you. I hope everybody's having a fabulous weekend, especially now that we're in the throes of the holiday season. I want to make this a little louder so hopefully you can hear me. Hope everybody is doing well. If you haven't checked out yesterday's audio on the Saturday show, let me tell you something. I went over the stuff that I had recently purchased as Christmas gifts, and I'm telling you, everybody got their stuff, everybody's happy with their stuff, and I kept below budget. Didn't have to lick a stamp. Everything got to all these destinations, and they are in various states, and everyone is happy. I have a habit of shopping for the holidays in November. It's just me. I'm not an 11th hour person by any stretch. I would like to show you before I go on to my keep your life simple type tricks. Okay, so this item I bought for myself, but it so happened that in this particular order, that I would be getting four of this item. So the other three I am giving away as handout gifts, not anything that requires shipping, which is really, really great. So let me show you. Yes, of course I wrapped this for myself. But it came with different bags. Beautiful. All different types of bags. So okay, so you've been looking at me with a red coffee cup for like years from the same place, but it's a great quality. I love it. It was gifted to me, that red cup. I still have it. I'll still use it, but I definitely wanted this one since last year. And when they tell you on those three-letter shows, those shopping shows, that this is the only time it's going to be presented, believe it. Believe it. I waited the whole year for this item to come back. It didn't until this past November. And when I saw it, I ran with it. So what this basically is, isn't this beautiful? Look at this mug. It is not just a simple travel mug. It is not. It has like an innovative technology to it. I don't get a thin dime for promoting this from that company. But you could put something hot in here. Let's say yesterday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and 24 hours later, it's going to be hot. And what I love in this design is that it has this handle. Okay, it has the handle to go with it. I also happen to love the color purple. The set came in various colors. So let's suppose that you didn't want to give them away as gifts, but I said I have to share this. They come in various colors. One is like a teal blue. One is like your usual stainless steel and black look type thing. And another one is sort of like almost like the color of the blouse that I'm wearing. So, oh my word. So it took me a whole year to get this. And finally I did. I actually sort of kind of like treated me to this because, my birthday imminently happening in the next couple of days. So it's like a birthday / Christmas gift to myself. You should always do that. You should get yourself a gift every holiday season. I'm not kidding. Birthday time, get yourself a gift. So what I'm going to do is put it back in its wrapper. So easy. These bags are just so beautiful and come with 4 different pattern bags. So just tie my little bow on here and putting it away until my birthday. I'm going to officially use it on my birthday. All right, so now let's jump into what we're talking about today. Basically, keeping life simple. And shopping like I did there definitely was all of that. So check out that video in case you missed it yesterday. All right, so we want to make everyday living simpler. About 2 years ago, my word of the year, I try to find a word of the year every January. So I believe this was for year 2022. The word of the year was simplicity. I think it's a good word. I think it's a great philosophy. And I think it's something that we should consider, not just for January in 2022, but forever. All right. Okay, here's the first thing. And I'm going to be taking an hour today to do this, working on decluttering. No matter how many times a person declutters, I don't care. I don't care if you decluttered 3 months ago. Somehow, magically, stuff creeps into your home or apartment. And visual clutter becomes mental clutter. Sometimes we don't realize it, just like preys on our like subconscious level. So visual clutter becomes mental clutter. This is my total opinion. I totally believe I am accurate about that. So I designated an hour today. I made a self appointment in my organizer, my day planner, self appointment, declutter. So that's what I'll be doing from 11 a.m. today till 12 noon. Once the clock strikes 12, I am done for this day. What? Well, what if there's still more to do? There's always still more to do. But at least I got started and I will return to it and I will make another appointment. You see, the trick is not to get overwhelmed. That's the real trick. People get overwhelmed and then they abandon the cause. I don't want to get overwhelmed considering it's the holiday season, shopping, this, that, and everything else. No, I'm going to breathe a sigh of relief and say, for today, I got this much done. And by the way, if you set your mind enough to something, you'll be shocked and amazed just how much one could get done, even in a smaller amount of time. I consider 1 hour for the goal that I want to hit beyond a generous amount of time. So part of making everyday life simpler would be to declutter. Next, don't compare yourself to others, okay, who may be in a better financial place than you are right now. Always keep the words right now in your head because right now opens the door to a future. Don't close that door off to you. But as far as simplicity goes, stop comparing yourself to others who may be in a better financial place. Wipe out any sort of envy or jealousy. Wipe it off your mental map. Just get rid of it. Replace it instead with gratitude, appreciation, charity, and generosity. Yes, even people on not the greatest incomes could still be generous. Generous in ways like volunteering time, things of that nature. So just stop the comparison. It makes life easier. Next, narrow down your concerns, okay? And don't take on the weight of the entire world on your shoulder. It is, first of all, not possible. It is not possible for us to cure every single problem in everyone else's life at this time. We can't do that. We're just not wired to do that. Okay, so a great alternative, better thing to do is to pray for people, to bless people, in your own way. But as far as taking on extra problems, don't rent or borrow other people's troubles while you're still trying to figure out your own. Okay, you can't possibly really be helpful in an effective way for someone else unless you focus in on your own. It's not wrong. It is not selfish. It is self-care. There's a big difference. So just narrow down, and lighten up the weight of the world on your shoulders. I'm telling you, you'll be happier for it. And focus on what matters most for you and your family. And let me see, I turned the wrong page. Those notes were about ice cream on an older show. It doesn't have anything to do with this. All right, keep things like meal or menu planning as simple as possible. Now, simple does not have to mean dull, does not have to mean boring. It is a mistake to think so. Change your meals up with different spices, different textures, different breads, uh, even the way you present it, cutting up a bread a different way, toasting it a different way, buttering it with a flavored butter. You see where I'm going with this. Having breakfast at dinner time, and sometimes some people have dinner at breakfast time. Anybody out there ever take a hunk of cold chicken out of the refrigerator first thing in the morning and eat it just like that, like a leftover cooked chicken cutlet? I've done that. It's okay. If I could eat breakfast for dinner, why can't I have dinner for breakfast once in a while? Change things up, but keep it simple. We get so too many details, too many things, too many ingredients that take up time, money, effort, and energy. In my opinion, it's the complete opposite of simplicity. The goal is to keep things like meal planning or menu planning simple. Next, my crock pot is my best friend. I'm telling you, as far as gizmos and gadgets goes, I mean, good old fashioned crock pot, leftover remnant from the 70s. Not that my unit is, mine was bought, within the last 10 years, but it's a friend. If I know that I have like a totally inundated day coming up, the last thing that I feel like doing is getting into cooking a complicated type of meal. So I end up just slapping a sandwich together. And even though sandwiches are great, and I do definitely promote sandwich making as a budget keeper, sometimes you just want a little bit more, especially now that the weather is chillier. Sometimes you just want a nice hearty meal, a go to. The last thing that I feel like doing is running to this to make a phone call and having someone deliver something to me that will cost me, excuse me, a tip, that might cost me extra time. Extra time? Yeah, extra time. How? Guess how? Sometimes things aren't delivered as fast as you would like it to be. Sometimes you wait so long, you ask yourself, am I better off with the sandwich? You see where I'm going with this? And you save some money too. So be prepared. It's just so nice at the end of your workday that your meal is piping hot, ready to go. Telling you. And if you use those crock pot bags, the liners, cleanup is such a breeze. It's not even funny. Okay. Set small but achievable goals. Why should somebody do that? Setting small goals and making them achievable will get us in the habit of hitting that goal. And when you hit a goal, no matter how small, it feels better, doesn't it? For example, instead of saying I want to save $200 this month, it just seems so much bigger to some people. Instead, you might say I would like to save $50 this week, and then you hit that goal. And then the following week, you might say, hey, I want to save $50 again this week. Then you got into the habit of it, and who knows, maybe by week 3 you say it again, and before you know it, you're hitting that $200 goal on week 4. So you're obtaining the same result, but you broke it down into baby bites and you made it achievable. To me, this is simplicity and goal hitting at its finest in a really good way. So consider that. And increase your stockpile, increase what you have, increase your reserves, your grocery reserves. How do you do that? Start small. Start small. Again, start small, but steady. Slow and steady does win the race. That is ever, ever, ever so true. And in terms of increasing your stockpile, why does it feel so good to walk by your stockpile and know you have what you need? For so many reasons, a myriad of reasons. Sometimes, number one is, first of all, have it readily available. It's just convenient. Convenience, okay? The other reason is saving money. Saving money. If you could get what you know you use, what your family enjoys, what you need to have, and when you find that item at a maximally better price, you are going to get that. And you're going to just like the old commercials, you're going to set it and forget. You're going to put it away. And slowly but surely, as it grows, don't get overwhelmed. Never compare yourself to someone else's stockpile. Someone else who just started now should never compare themselves to someone who's been doing it for 10, 15 years. No way. That seems intimidating, and certainly unachievable. And that's never a good thing. I want to thank you so much for being here. It's so wonderful to be here and to say hello to you directly on camera. I really hope that some of my ideas are helpful to someone out there. And your ideas are certainly helpful. I'm going to give you an example. The other day, I did a video on ravioli soup. Let's say you have 10 or 15 frozen ravioli in the freezer, but you have, let's say, a family of four. Well, 10 or 15 ravioli isn't going to cut the mustard, right? You don't have enough, but you want to use it up. So what you could do is make a ravioli soup. Get, let's say, 6 cups of water, your favorite bouillon, some onions, some carrots or string beans, whatever vegetables that you like, and you make that, put that on a slow simmer. In a separate pot, you're taking those 15 small frozen ravioli, and you're partially cooking that for about maybe about 4 minutes, partially cooked, because then you're going to deposit them, to drain it from that other pan, deposit it into your soup, which is already hot, because you don't want them too mushy. That's the reason why I suggest that you put it in there. So that was, my suggestion on the audio. Well, a viewer commented that I believe it's a she uses tortellini. I'm like, oh wow, that would be an amazing soup. With the same soup base. Of course, you have to add. Why do I keep forgetting this? The most important component. You have to add a small can of tomato sauce to that soup base. It really stretches the soup. Everybody feels full. It's a hearty soup. You add whatever vegetables you like. If you have miniature meatballs, like I like to make miniature meatballs, you could freeze them up and just throw them in your soup. Amazing. It's always a good idea to have certain things that you made from scratch and wrap them up, label them up, and freeze them, and it's there for the taking, like in a component like that. Miniature meatballs with a ravioli soup or a tortellini soup. Hello. I mean, so yummy, so good, so budget stretching, and mainly so delicious. There you go. So I'm thinking, with all the commotion that we're going through in the holiday season, and let's never forget the actual reason for the season, I suggest we take a minute to look at this video clip. Wow, I just love that video clip. It's just so distressing. I wish that clip was looped about 1,000 times. I mean, technically, I could probably do that, but I couldn't do it for the purpose of this program. But that is a wonderful video clip. You can look them up all over the place type thing and just decompress. And I strongly suggest that all of us decompress. I also strongly suggest the following. Have an amazing, fantastic Sunday. Take good care now. Bye-bye.